Hello and welcome to the Sofa Sensei's podcast, exclusively on the Akhi&Saltfish digital network.
Come on.
You've heard Before Our Friends Die, and you will hear Cool, Fine, Done, Wicked, but this one is different. Rochelle and I, we're no holds barred, okay? We're armchair experts, we're couch coaches, and most importantly, we're Sofa Senseis. We're gonna get stuck into the fight world, what's going on now, and we're gonna have special guests talking about their journeys in the fight world. Episode 1 is out now, and it's by Nico Michael. If you just stay tuned, you're gonna check it out. He's amazing. He talks to us a lot about what's going on in his world, how he got into boxing from kickboxing, and he talks about where he wants to be. It's really an amazing conversation. So check it out. We are the Sofa Senseis, and this is the Akhi&Saltfish digital network. Let's go. Yo, Rochelle.
Yo, what you saying, man?
All good, man. Well, listen, this is the first episode of Sofa Sensei's, and so far I've been concentrating a lot on Before Our Friends Die, so I'm quite excited to crack on with this episode.
Yeah, we've got the first fighter.
Come on.
Come on.
We're joined by local boxer, Nico.
Hey. No, we don't know. That's it.
So, Nico, tell us a little bit about yourself. So, first of all, you amateur or pro?
Amateur at the moment, but can't lie that in the pipeline, it's going to be this year. I'll be turning pro.
This year?
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
I was speaking to James after my last fight, and he basically just said, after this title fight, the next one, so in April the 2nd, I got a title fight. He said, we'll sit down, have a chat, and get the plan moving. So it should be this year.
Love that. I hear Eddie Hearn's number floats around on Twitter every now and then. So if you need us to search it up, we can get his number there.
I'll just shout Keiron. Keiron will have that speed though.
Get it cracking. So you mentioned Keiron there. What gym do you train out of?
I train at a Team Shoebox.
In Northampton, yeah?
Yeah, so it's a professional gym, but it's full of we've got 20 odd amateurs.
Is it?
10 plus pros going on in there.
What's the environment like to be around that many pros, that many amateurs?
It's fantastic. It keeps you going. Like to see the pro level and the amateur level, they're all pushing forward for it. So when we mix the two groups together, it's just quality.
Love that. So you're developing that sort of pro style, even though you're amateur so far.
Yeah. So a lot of people, when I finish fighting or sparring, they say I'm more fit for pros because of my style.
Sick.
So just
love that.
Keep it moving.
What would you say then for the listeners who don't know, for the genuine Sofa Senseis and the couch coaches and all those sorts of people, what's the difference between the amateur style and the pro style?
In terms of fighting, or
yeah,
it's so different because in the amateurs you've only got 3 2-minute rounds unless you're. I think it's the open class and the championships is 3-3-minute rounds. But when you're coming up against 3 2-minute rounds, and then you've got the pros, which you probably start at 4 3-minute rounds, it's so much more fast paced. So it depends on who you're fighting. They usually come out quite fast and strong, but then my fitness just takes them down, to be honest.
Yeah, so would you say that's one of your strengths then?
Yeah,
like
my
fitness?
fitness in the gym, I'm pretty much like a fitness freak. They always say I can just go rounds and rounds.
Love that.
It's that, my footwork, and my power. I ain't gonna lie. When we did that science testing the other week, the results came back last week, and from the strength to the kilo, I was between the amateurs and the pros. I was the first strongest in the gym.
Hey, come on.
Listen, this green, I can already feel it. This green button's gonna get hit all day.
That was my weak hand.
Is it?
That weren't even my strong hand because the power glove was for the right. So if I'd have switched it, boy, it would have been top.
So what are you southpaw then?
Well, I'm orthodox, but I fight both, so I just switch.
Sick.
Because I started at my previous gym, King's Eve, as southpaw, and James Conway is the current coach of Shoebox. He was there for quite brief when I was there, and when I was sparring, he just said, "You spar better in the orthodox position." So since that, I took his word for it, and now I fight both.
That's sick, man.
What weight are you?
Amateurs 54.
54.
Yeah.
So we're talking
54 kilo. That is. So
Sonny Edwards sort of in the pro game.
Yeah, I think it is Sonny Edwards in the pro game.
Is that Martinez as well?
Yeah,
that's
that
champions as well.
that fight's coming up between them two.
Yeah.
I quite like Sonny Edwards.
Yeah, he's funny on Twitter.
He makes me laugh.
Yeah, if you haven't followed him on Twitter, follow him. He's always in beef with someone, chatting shit somewhere to someone.
Who's he usually with? The one that 40 yard.
Lyndon Arthur. Yeah.
Two are funny, man.
Yeah,
It made me laugh.
he brings out a good side of Lyndon Arthur, I think.
Yeah.
Because otherwise he's quite a quiet character, but someone like Sonny next to him, he brings out the good side of him. So how long have you been boxing then?
I think it's got to be coming up to 6-7 years in boxing.
Mad.
But I've always thought I used to kickbox when I was like 7ish, so I've always had like a fighting background really. But
When do you start fighting? Was it just 7 years ago, or you did kickboxing a couple of?
kickbox, I had a few. Well, I had a few. I had a lot in kickboxing, but I don't know if I should be talking about that on here.
It's all good. You can go for it.
Go for it.
But it was third in the world at that, so that my mum got me.
What's
Swear.
that? Third in the world.
What? You man not know that?
Nah.
Nah.
What? Just during like school days?
Yeah. I
Swear.
was like 14. Yeah, flew out to Greece, represented Great Britain, third in the world. That game.
No way.
Yeah,
Mad.
man.
You've been punching that man for time.
Long time. But-
Sick. So wait, how long? So you were always training then back in the day then?
Yeah, but never as obviously as a kid. It's a different training level to when you're a man now. So the difference in training is so different because then it'll be like, my mum will like, yeah, you're going training on a Tuesday, you're going training on Friday, like 1 hour and here and there. But now it's like I'm waking up 6:45 before work, gonna get my sprints and my runs in, depends on which schedule I'm on. And then work, and then I'm training an hour and a half, 2 hours in the gym in the evening the same day,
Mad.
repeated every day. So it's the only day off I have is Saturday, just because I spar on the Sunday.
Yeah, that's it.
So it's just flat out Monday to Friday, 2-3 times a day.
And that was kickboxing, wasn't it?
No, this is boxing. Kickboxing was just
When was the
couple times
transition
a
to
week.
just boxing?
The transition. So I think I did kickboxing since like 14, and then I took a break from it all mainly because I met females, I met
Come on.
party, I met drink. I lived a little.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until my sister's ex-partner had done a white collar event and my dad was there and he was had a few drinks. And then he was like, oh, I need to see you back fighting rare tear. And I thought, you know what, I think I want to do that. So I went back, walked into the gym for the first time at my first gym. And I fell in love straight away. And I literally said to the coach, listen, I'm only going one way and I ain't here to have fun. Like, I'm here to go pro, reach the dream, then live the dream.
So what was that first walk into the gym like then? I mean, obviously you had that kickboxing experience. Did you feel like you was at home? Did you feel out
I tell you
out
what,
your
I
comfort
thought I'd
zone?
go in there with a lot of confidence, think I knew what I was doing, but the style and the sport it's not the same. Kickboxing, you jump around a lot, you use your legs.
Yeah.
Boxing, you need to be correct, because if you're not correct, you're just going to get chinned.
Mad.
So
How quickly did you learn that, by the way, that lesson of if you're not correct, you're going to get chinned? Like, was it a baptism by fire, or was it someone teaching you that, look, you've got the kickboxing background, but let's forget that?
yeah, that's basically it.
So they told you?
Yeah, they said just forget that, because you can bring it in with the confidence and the crowd and the atmosphere, but you can't fight boxing with kickboxing. It's never going to happen.
Have you ever been tempted? This is a silly question, but you ever been tempted to just kick man?
Oh, yeah, I get asked that a
inspiring,
lot,
like,
especially
bam.
my dad. But even from the very get go, I knew I couldn't use my legs, so it wasn't even. I didn't even think mainly because my legs don't
Straight
work
bang,
anymore. But legs are not the same as they were back in the day, man. But before I could just do splits, swing my leg up,
Mad.
kick in the head twice, jump back flip, and now it's just about walk down the street.
It's a very similar transition as Chantel Cameron, local.
I used to kickbox with Chantel coming around the circuit.
okay,
Not
so-
in the same gym, but we used to be about. So it's the same
Yeah.
path as Chantel Cameron.
Yeah, it makes sense, man. I see. Obviously, she used to be a kickboxer, and obviously she's a boxer now and world champion boxer.
Yeah.
So shout out her. But I also think that.
Sparred her a couple of times.
Did you? let's leave that one off. So I think as well, like I always watch her fights and I think, is she ever tempted to just fling a leg up and see what happens?
I
But
don't think she would be.
Yeah.
If she's got the same brain as me, which sounds like she has with the whole career, I don't think she'll ever have been tempted.
love that.
Straight kick to the face. Ooh.
It is fun when you land one of them.
What's the hardest thing in training?
In training is the hardest thing about boxing is outside the gym, really.
Is it?
It's mentally draining. It's lonely sport. You're not on your own. You can't just say open the cupboard. I open the cupboard just to look at the food and close it.
Mad. So
Right, it's stressful outside the gym.
so making weight is really, it's all day, every day. It's not just a week
It's
before.
all day every day because you gotta manage the weight. You can't step too high because then you got to bring it back down. So the cut, I usually cut about 3 kilo in the last few days.
Yep.
because that's just you go by the size and the weight of the food more than the calories.
And for reference, 3 kilos is about 3 bags of sugar. So how are you cutting that amount of weight in the last 3 days?
You need to let me know as well.
Nah, it's a bit of water, just to like.
You hitting the sauna?
I hit the saunas quite often just because I did it after my sprints. I go to Virgin Gym, so I use the facilities there because I pay for it. It is good. But yeah, usually it's you just make the meals smaller. So I'd go from having porridge every morning with a protein shake to 2 egg whites and 1 slice of toast. Sorry about that.
That's all good, all good.
And then lunch would be like a bit of tuna and a bit of salad, and then same again for dinner. And then the last day is probably I won't eat nothing really until I've weighed in.
Is it?
And then as soon as I weighed in, boy,
You're eating good.
yeah, straight. I got a meal prepped already, tuna, pasta, all of it, and then just fuel up, and then probably walk back in the ring.
All that weight you've lost, you gained straight away.
Yeah, straight away.
I mean, an obvious question to that, and I get it. I see fighters talk about this all the time, but why don't you just fight at a weight where you're eating comfortably?
I'd love to,
Yeah,
but no other fighter does that.
yeah.
So for me to do that, I end up. I'm not the tallest people. I'm 5'5", just about.
Yeah.
And if I walked into, so I walk around about 57 kilo.
Okay.
And if I go into a ring now, they're going to be about 5'11", 6 foot.
Really?
It's silly. You know Ryan Conway, Keiron Conway's brother. I think he fights at 57 and he's
Big.
massive.
Yeah, yeah.
Not exactly the muscliest, but it's just so long. It's like
You're not going to get in range and like that. Yeah.
exactly. So,
Wow.
but making the weight, it's not. I don't find it difficult. It's more brain tiring than anything because when you can eat what you want, you don't. When you can't, you still don't, but you want to more. So I end up just watching people eat food on my phone. Can't lie. My Discover page is rammed with people frying food, everything.
Bare mukbangs and all that. Wait, I can't lie. I sat in the sauna today for about 20 minutes, yeah. I come out there, I felt like a different man. I was so shaky and my body was finished, but my brain was finished.
You was in there too long, bro.
I don't know how you man do it, just day in, day out,
I just jump in it just because I find it. I do it in the morning, so I do my sprints. I fall asleep in there for about 10 minutes.
Madman. Oh my God.
How's your daily routine? How do you fit everything in? Workout, work. I'm assuming, do you still work?
Yeah, I work from home now, so it fits in quite nice. If I went back in the office, it'd cause a massive problem to my...
You lose a bit of travelling time, don't you?
Everything, travel. Not even that. I wouldn't be able to go to the gym in the morning before work because I start work at 9:30, so I get to the gym for 7:30. My office is in Daventry, so it's a good 40-minute drive.
Yeah.
So that means I've got to hit gym at 6 a.m. for about 20 minutes just to get to work. So if I went back to the office, it ain't going to work out for me. So, but my day-to-day is, I've done it that long now, it's so routine. So it's wake up, 6:45, leave at 7, hit gym, hit my sprints, hit the spa, come home, work. As soon as I finish work, straight to the boxing gym. Finish the boxing gym, come home, eat, bath, sleep, repeat every day.
Every day. That's a good routine, man.
To start with, it was stressful waking up every morning and going, but I built it into my everyday life.
It's the habit, isn't it?
That's it, yeah. Like, I don't even question it now. I just get up and go.
What did they say? Like, is it 30 days to make a habit, or?
It's something like that. Yeah, I heard that. But I got on my wall as well. When I wake up, the first thing I see is a picture of Lomachenko. He's
Come
my
on,
favourite
footwork
idol.
king.
Yeah, fantastic. That's where a lot of people, that's my style. I try to fight like him. Never be as good as, well, I say that.
Come on, man. You got
don't
this.
Say that.
Come on, man.
He's just like a god. But then I've got him there, then I've got me in the middle, and then I've got Manny Pacquiao on the left just because his work rate of his punch flow is incredible.
How important is that visualization, seeing yourself amongst the Manny Pacquiaos, the Lomachenkos? How important is it for you to wake up and see
To me,
that?
that's important because that's the level I want to be. So if I put myself below that, it's not going to be the same. So if anything, my picture's a little bit above there.
Yes,
Yeah, that's where I want to be.
Rochelle, quick question.
Yo.
So, you got a picture of you on your wall.
Yeah.
Who you put into your left, who you put into the right, just out of interest?
Anybody or boxers?
Anybody.
I don't know, that's a good question, I think we should write that on our list. I haven't got anyone right at the moment, to be honest. I can't vision anyone.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
How about you?
Who have you got?
Actually, I want to put Jeff, like...
I want to say Jeff Bezos.
Bill. All them, man.
Now, who inspires me physically? Like Eubank Jr., his work rate is a bit mad. I'd like that work
I
rate.
like his attitude.
Yeah, that'd be funny. But it might be funny. I mean, fake hairline, all of that business. It might inspire me when I'm older.
And his dad's jokes.
Yeah, his dad's a joker. Do you know what? Actually, scratch that. Chris Eubanks Senior. I like the way he talks. I like the way he handles himself.
You like the way he
and
talks?
he can fight.
Nah, man, no one has ever said that. No one has ever said
Come on,
that.
Eubanks Senior. Let's have some parliamentary procedure.
Oh,
yeah? Legend.
Oh, no. Have you seen the one he tried to get Skittles?
No.
He's on that, is it Gogglebot?
Oh, Stupendous Confectionery. That one there.
Love it, man.
His vocabulary is mad.
Yeah,
I don't know what he's doing, just reading dictionary.
He's nuts. I mean, yeah, Chris Eubanks Senior is the only one I can think of right now. And maybe Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan's lit.
Someone's going to cancel me for saying Joe Rogan on my wall, yeah, but whatever, here we are.
Yeah, but I don't know, actually. I don't know who to put on the wall, to be honest. It was a hard one to be.
Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, that's it.
If I was a boxer, straight Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
And Ali, man.
Great answer. Great answer.
Got to surround yourself by greatness. It's the only way to achieve.
I agree. I definitely agree. So you mentioned earlier that when you went into the gym, the boxing gym, and you said, "Look, I'm not here to play around. I want to go pro." What does that ideal journey look like to you? I mean, let's take a step back. How many amateur fights have you had so far?
Amateur fights in total, I've had 10. So
Okay.
only 10 amateurs. But I felt like I've had way more. Well, to be fair, my last fight was a complete robbery, but we'll talk about that.
Yeah, let's get into it. Let's get into it
Talk
now.
about that one now.
Yeah, let's get
What's the
into it.
record, by the way? What's the record? 10 fights?
The amateur record,
Yeah.
well, my first gym, that was at 64 kilos. That was 10 kilo over my fight
Wow.
weight. Yeah, probably should never have done that, but I needed to get the experience. And that was 2 wins and 2 losses at 10 kilos heavier.
What's that? Because you couldn't find opponents? What was?
Well, it wasn't even that. It was more the gym.
Right, okay.
Without being bad boy, they just rang
Yeah.
me and said, I've got a fight for you tomorrow. Do you want to take it? I'm eating my dinner.
Yeah.
I've probably been in the gym a few weeks, but my mentality is like, I'll take that fight.
Yeah.
So I took that fight, and then so after that I went to King's Heath for a couple of years. So I met James, and then King's Heath went down, like I think they closed for a bit. So I shouted James, moved to Shoebox, and he said you need to be this weight. Hit the weight. So being at Shoebox, I'm 6-1. Oh no, scratch that, 5-2 because the last fight I got robbed that. But
Yeah. So let's get into that last fight then. I mean, what went down there and where was it? Because I know it was in a prestigious location.
yeah,
Let's talk about that.
Oh, it was fun. It was amazing. So it was at York Hall in London. So I said, there we go again.
Come on.
So for an amateur fight, that's crazy. So that's the British Home of Boxing. So even the entrance, I had a ring entrance, I had music, smoke.
What song?
And I didn't get to choose the song.
Did you get to choose a song?
Not for that one. No, I was a bit disappointed.
Oh.
But I knew what song I would choose for that event.
What would you have gone for?
I would went for Idris Elba's Luther's theme tune because Idris Elba was there front
Yes.
row watching.
Was
Like,
it?
yeah,
Oh,
bro,
come on, man.
I had Idris Elba front row watching my fight for the TV show called Fight School, which is coming out soon. So
'Cause
I
he
might show
can.
highlights on that because he can.
Yeah.
But I thought about that one before the Luther tune's about.
Yeah.
And then so got into this ring and got the guy I was fighting was a great, toughest fight I've had so far, but it just wasn't me. Weren't on my level. So I put him down. I even gave him an 8 count. So the only bit of the fight he had was probably the first 30 seconds. That's just me sussing him out, finding what I'm dealing with.
Yeah.
After that, it was all me. And then at the end, one of the judges, my coach, even seen him circle the other corner, and my coach looked over and went, "You're bang out of order." Like, he doesn't do that. But like he said, that's a bang out of order decision. And then I lost on a split 3-2, and I thought, it's a bit rubbish.
So take us through that then, because we've never had. Yeah, you've never had an amateur fight, have you?
Never.
Yeah, we've never had amateur fights. Yeah. So how far in advance do you know this is the opponent? Yeah.
Amateur fights can be as close as one day. Like I said, my first fight I got called up the day before my dinner. So you've always got to be around weight just in case you get called up and how serious you are. But this one, I know about this one 4 weeks ago because I had a fight 2 weeks before that as well. That was at Hemel Hempstead on their home show, and I won that one quite convincingly, but still finished on a split. But it's usually when you go to these away shows, you're up against, I don't know why they do it, they're a bit biased to their own fighters in the amateurs.
We're just coming about 2-3 weeks away from Josh Taylor versus Jack Catterall, where Jack Catterall seemed to win the majority of the rounds convincingly, but Josh Taylor, who was fighting in Glasgow and is Scottish, got the decision to keep his undisputed 140 championship. So do you think this is a problem with boxing?
I don't know where the problem lies and why it becomes so unfair, but it must be a problem in boxing.
Yeah.
It happens more than once. It happens way too often.
And in amateur fights, how many judges is there?
Usually 3, but this time there was 5.
Okay.
Right.
So yeah, there was 5 for this York Hall one. And then afterwards, when they said he won, I was like, what? Because it was his home show.
Yeah.
And he didn't say much. And even afterwards, when I said cool to him, I said, look, you know you just robbed me there. And he went, yeah, tough fight.
Tough fight, you know.
Come on.
How did you take that?
I took it as still a win.
Yeah.
Because I knew I won. As soon as I come off, I walked away. Idris Elba came up to me, and the first sentence he said to me was, you just got robbed that fight, mate. That was his sentence to me.
Sick.
And then about 10 people in the audience said, you won that, keep your head up, don't let that bother you. But I'm just waiting for the footage, because then I went on Instagram, and their gym uploaded the first 30 seconds of the fight.
Nothing else.
Where you was feeling him out, right?
Yeah. Well, not even that. You watch the video, you still think the guy in the red, me, is still winning that, because the other guy was hitting arms, catching every shot, throwing one back. And then they were in the comments saying tonight didn't disappoint, especially this fight. But you see me, I just commented on it straight away and said, look. I said, I weren't happy. I said, the decision was wrong. So fair play to your boxer. But the decision was wrong. And
Back yourself, man.
Yeah, they commented back saying, we'll get a rematch soon. So I waited for the weekend to see James. Said James, and he said, just say thank you and we'll take it. So now I'm waiting for that rematch. It was going to be, I think, on the 31st of May we had in line, but we've got Ethan James, pro, he's fighting that day, so I'm going to be there supporting him.
So what's your mindset, if you get that rematch, what's your mindset going into it?
He ain't seeing 3 rounds.
Yeah,
he ain't getting to the end of the amateur rounds,
Come on,
so
we're going to that.
I'm winning that.
Yeah, we need to.
We're definitely going to that one, man.
Come to the next one for the belt. I think it's in Leicester. So
That's
down
the
the
hour away,
road.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
not far.
so when's that?
April 2nd,
April 2nd.
All in London.
East Midlands total.
Okay, yeah.
But
okay,
Rasha, if you can make that,
yeah, I'll
go
try
there
and
for the
make it,
pod.
yeah.
That'll be amazing.
That'll be good, man.
Because we watched the amateur fight in what's the guy's name again? Is it Yusuf Ibrahim? Is that his name?
Yeah, he's training at NFBC when I first started.
Yeah, we saw him at, in the Leicester show. I don't even know where.
Leicester, yeah, I think it was
It was
Leicester.
Leicester,
It was
yeah.
Leicester, yeah. It was that. Then I think he got robbed. I don't want to say robbed. Because,
Didn't he win? I thought he won.
Nah, his little brother won.
Yeah.
Yeah, his little brother. Yeah. Won that fight,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, he did get robbed then because I thought he won the fight.
Because
So
I could just tell the crowd. I don't know if are the judges from the same town?
I think I don't really know. I just get in there and fight, to be honest. To me, it's just a journey to get to where I want to be, and that's pros. So
it's that experience, isn't it?
that's all amateurs is. So it doesn't really matter what you get. You need to get the experience of being in a ring, fighting, fitness.
Yeah.
Because running every day, training every day isn't the same fitness as fighting.
They say box fit is just completely different.
It's so different.
Yeah.
So different.
You know what? Yeah. Talking of boxing and fitness, obviously at the weekend we saw 2 absolute mammoth of human beings. To be fair, go a good 6 times 3 rounds. So
They
6
did,
minutes,
didn't they? Yeah.
6 rounds times 3 minutes. And I was impressed. I mean, I know you haven't seen the fight, Nico,
I haven't seen it now, but 6 3-minute rounds for their first fight is.
and they're huge.
140
Was there a lot of
kg
hugging?
plus.
There wasn't.
There was no hugging,
I didn't
no.
see any hugging. To be fair, I was watching it whilst eating in a restaurant, but I didn't see any hugging. So, props to them. And I saw that man was swinging or throwing jabs for the whole continuous fight. So,
Was it?
yeah, props to
wouldn't
them.
be easy 6 3 minutes.
What was his name? Thor.
Thor,
He
yeah.
looked like a boxer.
Yeah, a bad one. But
And Ed, yeah, defo. But Eddie, I don't know what he was
Where did
doing.
he get his name from? Is that from the Marvel?
so his actual name's Hafthor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Hafthor. So
The hammer or
he
something.
cuts
He
it down.
was,
sounded
he was in
more
Game
rough.
of Thrones.
Not seeing it.
You never watched Game of Thrones?
No, me neither.
I
Me neither.
watched the first episode 3 times, fell asleep 3 times.
Oh,
I'm done with this.
That's all him sprints,
I
man.
have to watch one more guy ride a horse. No homo.
So you mentioned you train at Shoebox. Does Shoebox mean anything? I always see people,
Yeah, it does. It
does it
does.
mean?
It does. So James Conway, the head coach, if you ask him, he'll just say all he knows is shoes and boxing, because he
Mad.
used to be the manager at, like, I think it's Churches.
Yeah.
So he's always been in with the shoes, and then he's always at boxing. So he's shoebox,
it.
like
Love
a ring.
that.
that is good, you know.
Yeah.
Do you know what?
That's
We
a good
asked that
name.
question just on a a random one, and I didn't expect that answer. So
Yeah, no,
Yeah, I love
that's
that.
exactly it. I had to double check with him, but because I asked, that's one of the first things I asked.
Yeah.
him. I said, "Why shoebox?" He went, "Well, it's shoebox, plus it's like the size of a ring." He wanted a small gym to start with, and it's just
where's it based?
Holston Road.
Is it that close?
Yeah, man.
Cool.
Just
Where-
you know,
Wow.
know the Londis by the Heart of Dustin pub.
No.
You know the Hopping Hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just further up. If Hopping Hair's on your left, just further up and it's on your right.
Oh, is it?
Right. Okay. We'll have to actually pass by because
I don't
when you
really.
posted-
We get a session.
Bro.
On Monday, that's where I'm going tonight. It's open.
Bro.
I'm going
You
out
go today?
there.
Today,
Cool.
you know, I'm a bit busy today.
You know they train with the heaters on, so it's like being in the sauna.
They train with the heaters on.
Trainers with the heaters on,
I went boxing.
Mad.
even in the summer.
I went boxing training in year 9. Yeah, I did like 3 weeks. Yeah, and it got a bit dark, so I couldn't walk through the park.
You ain't got dark. Oh,
Yeah, I
right.
couldn't go through. Mum was like, nah. But, bruv, I've never sweated like that before.
What, from running in the dark or training?
Man was shook.
I started steaming. I didn't know that was a thing.
Well, you get
Everyone was
hot.
steaming. I was like, right. But that was, what was that? That was what boxing club was that? That was
it
behind Mounts. There's a boxing club.
Oh, is that Northampton ABC?
Oh, it probably
Yeah,
was
yeah,
ABC.
yeah.
Yeah, I
It
think it
is.
is.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
They've got, when you walk in, there's like Prince
Stairs.
Naz and all of them, man.
You got the stairs. They got,
Yeah, upstairs. Yeah. That's what I did. I did like 3 weeks there, and I was like, yeah.
I've never
I
trained
think
in my
I've
life.
been in 3 or 4 different gyms, and this is the only gym that trains with heaters on.
Oh,
So
That's what,
it's good for fitness and breathing though. So when you're not got that on and you're sparring, it's just light work.
And if you go and fight in Dubai or Saudi Arabia, you're going to be prepared
Yeah,
for it,
exactly,
acclimatized. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
So you mentioned the science days. I wanted what was tested that day because I seen it. It looked amazing.
It was a good experience, really. It's mainly to see like it was to do with strength, speed, and power, and like the force and stuff, and how well we perform at the weight we walk in. So I think I started at 57.8, as in that day. So we'd done the running test. We had to run for 5 minutes as fast as we can.
That's me up.
I think it's the second time I've done it. I beat my time the first time, and I was like just short of finishing a mile by like 5 seconds in 5 minutes.
Mad.
I was running, and then we had to do some strength ones. So like pull up a bar, and then you push your feet into these plates on the ground, and like the new sports science people that were there that James got partners with, you can see the graphs, so you can see how much you're pulling and that. So we did that, and we had to punch a bag to test our power. And then once we'd done them tests, we had to sweat out, so put layers on in the heaters and sweat out water away to dehydrate ourselves to see then how we can perform without the water weight.
Yeah. So that's
And
weight
I
cutting,
felt,
isn't it?
Yeah. I felt better, as in when I was more dehydrated than when I was heavy. So I think it's because I was lighter in that. And then they hydrated us again after with the Dialyte and the correct amount of litres. So I think I went from 57.8, dehydrated down to 55.2, and hydrated back up to 57.8 and retested.
That's a lot of water, man.
Yeah, it was. I had to drink 3.5 litres straight off.
Mad. So what do you think? Obviously, one of the big conversations around boxing is you're dehydrating your brain, then you're getting in a fight, right? And in a fight, you're going to get hit in the head.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts around that? Like, does that ever cross your mind about, the impact of fights?
When you go pro, you get 24-hour weigh-in. So,
Okay.
for example, when Keiron Conway does it, he does it quite a lot.
Yeah.
But when he cuts it out, and then once he's weighed in, with the correct people behind you and the correct nutritionists, you can hydrate correctly, ready for your next day.
Yeah.
But I have seen it at a few shows where I won recently, a professional show, he won his fight, but then was stretched out because he didn't hydrate himself properly.
Oh.
So if you don't do it properly with the right team, it is quite dangerous, especially if you get hit as well.
Do you know what I've realised as well? Throughout this conversation, you've mentioned like the expertise that you've got behind you. You guys are using science, you're using the correct methods to make sure you're... Is that important to you, and is that important to the gym as well?
It's important to the gym, it's important to me, because we need to James likes to build the perfect fighter.
Right.
So in James's mind, he's got a style, he's got the perfect fighter that can do strength, his speed, he can move, he can footwork. If you've got the science behind it, nutrition behind it, you can't fail. James always says, trust the science. That's one of the things he says. So
Yeah, I agree.
that's why he did it.
Rachel?
Next question. What's the plan for the future? Big promoter?
Oh yeah, aim high, dream big. That is where it's got to go. I don't know how it's going to be to start with. That's why I need to have a chat with James once the next few fights are done. But you've got Ethan James, who signed with Frank Warren. You've got Keiron Conway, who signed with Matthew Medica.
Yeah.
We've got a few other pros that are signed with MTK.
Yeah.
I've only heard all the three. Was it MK?
MTK. Matthew.
Man. Warren
Frank
Buffett.
Warren, Queensbridge.
I was going to say Warren. I said Warren Buffett then.
So we've got all of them in the
Yeah.
gym, and we've got Errol as well. He does quite a lot of shows in Northampton. That's one of James's good links. So it's looking promising. It would be good to get that promoted, but then you got to get the right contracts, because a lot of these people, they you can get the big name behind you, but you might be making pennies.
Just don't get signed in a contract with Dana White.
Yeah.
Those are the days.
Although with kickboxing experience,
Hey.
Well, yeah, I did consider that, but my face is too pretty.
yeah,
Yeah, these MMA and UFC fighters, they look butters, man.
ears
Who's
all
that
over the
guy with
place.
the cauliflower ears? That
all of
loud?
them.
No, I don't want to cuss him too much.
Yeah,
Yeah, he looks
yeah.
too loud, but
Well, you mentioned Keiron Conway and obviously being signed to Matchroom and being on TV. Is that inspiring for you?
yeah, I tell you what, I've been on TV before.
Yeah.
Yes, I know. It was the game
show, the Cube, yeah, with Philip
Oi.
Schofield.
It's a bell now. What did you win? What did you win?
Nah, I threw 50 grand on the floor
Oh.
3 times.
No way.
Yeah, me and my dad.
No.
But I tell you what, that was sick. So being known on TV was buzzing. So
Sick.
to do it with boxing as well, be even through the roof.
Put
man.
on a show.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. The Cube, man. How'd you get into that? Well, I mean, how did you even get on that show?
I come home and my dad was like, they're doing applications for the queue for 2 people. Should we apply? I went, yeah, go on then. So I just went upstairs, tap, 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 tap. I said, Dad, we've got to do a video of us 2 chatting. He went, no, I can't do that. I went, you want to go on TV, but you can't do a quick minute video. So we did it, messed the video up because he had a little script out. He messed it up and then we started laughing and then sent it in and they rang us straight away. Well, 2 weeks later. They said, we loved your video. Then we had to do a couple more auditions. Like we had to play some games at home. We had to send, because it was just through COVID times. We couldn't actually go in to chat to them. So we had to play games, send it off, then send photos of our outfits. And then, because they wanted to know what we wanted to wear. They picked what we had to wear.
No way.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. Got there, done the makeup, started sweating, took me off, hair dried my pits. It was sick. It was so
That's
sick.
crazy.
Do you know what? It's been really interesting talking to you and hearing like the way you speak. You're a very natural speaker. And one of the most frustrating things for me as a Sofa Sensei, yeah, bear in mind, we have no experience in the fight world, but we're invested in it from our couches. Some boxers are fantastic, but they're just boring. They're not great talkers.
Yeah, that's it. You got to be able to talk. You got to stand out.
Yeah.
And this is the first time I've done something like this, but it just feels comfortable. Like,
Yeah.
This is all practice for
Exactly.
like, the TV. But yeah, it's all practice.
Imagine you got Kugan Cassius here with a camera in your face. This is the sort of energy you need. Do you know what I mean? Like Joe Joyce, as much as he's sick, yeah, amazing jab, engine, chin for days, but he's boring.
I seen him fight. When I watched Eubank Jr. versus De Gale, he was on the undercard, and no disrespect, it was dead.
It's just
boring to watch.
You need energy, don't you?
Yeah.
And look, you can. He has an undefeated record, and he got a silver in the Olympics. Should have been gold.
Yeah,
so he's
not
accomplished.
Crap, he's good.
Yeah, but I don't buy into him. That's the problem.
I wouldn't. If he was headlining, I wouldn't buy it.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like everyone needs to become a Connor.
What?
A McGregor.
Yeah.
But does everyone need to become a Connor?
AJ's not like that. Actually.
Exactly. What about the John Joneses or the? Maybe not John Jones, bad examples. But
Yeah. White is.
Yeah, Dylan White. Yeah.
I'm gonna watch him versus Fury. I got
No
tickets.
way.
Tickets.
Did ya?
Day after my birthday as well.
Oh, we tried to get tickets. We couldn't get them,
You
man.
not join that queue?
Yeah, we joined it.
Bro, I was 55,000 in the queue.
And I think I was 82.
Wait, I had it on 3 different browsers. I got in, I got through, and then I didn't want the seats, so I pressed back.
You pressed back.
It took me out the queue.
You got decent seats.
No, this was when I tried to get them.
Oh, okay.
So I got to choose the seats. I go, crap. So I pressed the back button on the browser, not return. So it ended that whole session. But luckily, I had 2 more browsers. So
Oh, I didn't know you could do that, man.
nor did I till I tried it. And then, I got good seats on the pitch bit. It's like £210. Decent seats,
That's
So I
alright.
look forward to it.
Decent price as well.
Do you think the fight will go ahead?
Yeah, I can't see why.
Man.
I'm a little bit skeptical, you know.
It's Fury's last fight, so if
He didn't even.
I think it's a lie.
No, it can't be.
I
It can't
don't
be. It
think
can't
it will
be.
be.
I think that's hype. If you believe it's Fury's last fight and you say I'm gonna get a ticket because it's his last fight, then he's done his job, innit?
Yeah.
He's done
He
his
would
job.
have trained to come all the way back to just leave not with all the belts.
Yeah, I mean he's got to fight Joshua. He's got to.
And
That
then
fight-
retire. And then
Yeah,
retire.
yeah,
Who
exactly
wins?
that.
Who do you think wins?
What Fury versus Joshua?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Fury's probably the smart answer. Yeah.
Fury.
Do you know what? I want Joshua to win, but I don't know if he's got it anymore.
Nah,
I
he
don't
hasn't
know.
got it. I don't think he's got it, man.
He-
He's lost
listen,
something.
AJ's still sick, and he lost to Usyk, who's different level to sick. Right, he's
I always
amazing.
said AJ he's always got more to give, and then he did it in the Klitschko fight, and I thought that's the AJ I expect to see.
Yeah,
And after that, it didn't do it again.
but do you think
He
it took
was
a bit out of
fighting
him?
on-
Do you think it took a bit out of him, the Klitschko fight?
It would have, because he got knocked down, but it also should have put him way up, because he just beat Klitschko. Imagine that.
An old Klitschko.
But you know Klitschko.
Yeah, I think
No,
so,
an
too.
old one. An old one. He's an old.
Oh, yeah,
He was
yeah.
very.
Listen,
That was his
yeah,
last
it
fight. He
was.
was like what? How old was he?
41 at the time.
41.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Klitschko's still that guy, bro. I'm not being funny.
Hey, man's even more right now.
Yeah. If you rolled up to Klitschko right now, you'd be shook.
Yeah, I'm
45 or not. You know what I mean? He's 6'6", still hench. Yeah, he probably still got a mad right hand. Come on.
Yeah, he's taking it
through the window, man.
Yeah, it's long.
Fury beat him as well, didn't he?
Yeah, but Fury beat him in a way that is like, okay.
Yeah, I didn't like Fury then.
Yeah.
I wasn't a fan.
Me neither.
His fucking shorts hang down, so
swears.
Oh, my love.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Didn't know that.
all good.
Trying to keep it PG.
So, okay. You must watch fights all the time, right? Or you must have watched a lot of fights over your life. Have you ever watched a fight and thought, I wish that was me? I wish I was in a fight like that.
As in what fighting that person?
Yeah. You was the winner, I'm guessing. See, I'll give you an example. You see, like, Hay versus Chisora, yeah? So they had beef in the lead up. A man glasses him. There's all back and forth. They've got a fence between them in the press conferences. All this amazing build up. And then, after all that hype, Hay wins. So really, he feels good. Imagine if he lost the fight, like that would be like, oh, you bottled him and then you lost the real fight. But he won both the fight on the street and the fight in the ring. That's an amazing achievement. I'd love to have been that guy. Yeah, what about you?
It'd probably be that Khan and Brook fight just recently, because they've had a thing for time.
Yeah.
And the way Khan carried it like he was a big man.
Yeah.
I knew Brook was gonna win that fight.
We watched that, didn't we?
Yeah, I wanted Amir to win, man. I'm not gonna lie to you.
You wanted him to win?
I wanted Amir.
Yeah, nah, I wanted Brook. Just nah, just because you know the way Khan was tried to shake his hand at the end, and Brook said, no, I'll shake your hand afterwards.
Yeah.
After that, I thought, cool, you lot have had beef for time.
Yeah.
You've just won me as a fan there. I ended up watching that after my second last fight. We took the fire stick with me. So James was like, bring the fire stick. We've got a TV in the room. So we plugged it straight in after my fight.
It was a good fight, to be fair. I thought it would be a lot worse than it was, but it was actually quite entertaining.
I'm surprised Khan lasted long.
Yeah, he got bullied.
Yeah,
He got
did.
bullied. He lasted.
Usually he gets bullied and switched off, but to
See
be
how
fair,
dry Khan was when he weighed in? Like how
a couple pounds,
dry
isn't it?
he was,
Yeah.
There's no water in him. As soon as he got off them scales, you'd see him neck that water.
And he's not retiring.
Nah, he doesn't need
He's
to.
not.
No, he said he's not.
What, is he trying to do a rematch?
Well, thing is, there's a rematch clause, yeah? So if you invoke a rematch clause and then someone else wants to fight the guy...
Basically, he needs to get paid.
Yeah, you get paid a piece of step aside. So maybe it's a business move, but also I don't think Amir Khan should fight again.
No, I don't think he should, man.
And I think as Sofa Senseis, we're allowed to say that fighters shouldn't fight. A lot of people say we shouldn't say anything because, you know, we're not in the ring, and I get it, and we're not fighters, and I completely get that. But we're Sofa Senseis, yeah? We're here to have an opinion on the sport from our sofas, and I think Amir Khan should retire.
100%.
Unless he's just going to fight for a bit of change.
That's what they all do nowadays,
that's what
man.
it is.
That's what they all
See,
do
Joshua
nowadays.
almost got paid not to fight.
Yeah. Step aside
What
15 mil.
boxer could be paid not to fight?
That's what he almost said that himself. He said, you know what, like, business is business, but also like I'm a fighter. I don't want to necessarily.
He puts his life, like when you're in your box, you put your life into it. It's not just you can't be a keep fitter, or you're a doer.
Yeah.
If you took the money though, everybody's gonna hate on it. Everyone would have hated.
But knowing what we know now, because before this was before the Ukraine war, yeah. And now Usyk might not even be ready for the
man's in
rematch.
the army,
So really, Joshua should have just took the 15 mil, yeah.
I read something earlier. Him and because Lomachenko supposed he might be fighting Kambosos as well.
Yeah, that'd be an amazing fight.
There was something. If you Google it, they're trying to allow, or they have allowed them to leave the country to train for these two fights.
Is it?
Yeah, it was literally released like so many hours ago.
That would be a great shout.
So they may go ahead sooner than we expect.
Yeah.
Good luck to them, because I'd like to see the rematch. I think Joshua probably
it's make or
loses.
break.
Usyk wins to me.
Yeah, 100%.
I agree.
Unless Joshua comes out and actually throws shots.
Yeah, and starches him. Imagine.
Yeah, he's just always stationary, man. He's not the same anymore.
No,
I don't think he's not the same.
No, I don't think he was.
I said to Cavani, the only reason why because his entrance music is not lit. Remember back in the day, he used to come with scraps and all that, man. Now he just comes with just happy music and all that, man. I think
He's too humble with it.
He needs to go back
Sweet
to the hood.
Caroline.
Yeah, he needs to go back to the hood.
Nah, that's not. I couldn't have that.
Yeah.
So talking to AJ, I listened to a podcast earlier from the PR guy from Matchroom, and he was saying like boxing changes lives. AJ was doing what he was doing before boxing, and now
What was he doing before boxing? I can't remember.
He went jail for a little while. He had a tag or something.
He was on roads.
Yeah, selling something or
I think the story was his cousin took him to boxing, and then he became good at boxing, and then that's what happened.
Yeah, I think it was something to do with weed, right? So
he went. Yeah, I think he was doing his thing on the road.
imagine you owe AJ money for weed. It's long. It's long, bro. He's 6'6", yeah, about 250 pounds. Bro, just take the money in it. What you want a phone? Yeah, here's the phone, bro.
The funny story that I watched another podcast, and it's back in the day when before AJ was AJ.
Yeah,
he was in a club and there was an altercation, and that brother just saw AJ taking off heads.
Well, good, as he should, as he should. You shouldn't be fighting a man that big anyway. Have sense.
Man, I'm late.
What I was going to say was, do you think boxing changed lives? Has it changed your life? Has it changed anyone you know's life?
It definitely changes lives because it's quite stereotypical. I think boxing. People think boxing and they expect people to come from nothing. Like you see a lot of films based on it. A lot of people, like for example Mayweather, Pacquiao, they literally come from nothing. So for me to get into the sport, I don't come from. Sorry, my phone again.
All good.
I don't come from nothing. Like I've got a roof over my head. I'm grateful for that. But my mum tripped me in fighting when I was 7 just because I was too hyper, and I love the sport. So I'm in it because I simply love it. I see it as I can make money from this. Like that's the main reason I got back into it. A, I love the sport. B, I'm good enough to make money. So if I can make money in headline, then I'm gonna do it. But yeah, sick.
Rochelle?
But should we share the same mindset as a lot of all the people in that gym? We got loads of us. Josh, Tysell, do you know, heard of them too?
Nah.
Yeah, amateurs. Josh Nagy, Tysell, Ramos. We're full of them. SK. Like we've all got the same mindset. So when you surround yourself with those people, you're always pushing to do better. Not the people that go there that say, "I can't bother to be here." None of us are like that. We might hear, "I'm hungry" in the gym. I've not had dinner yet. When did you last eat? How much do you weigh? Like, but we all have banter. It's like a family. So to go there is not a chore in my life. I go there to better myself in boxing, to get one step closer to where I want to be.
So, a couple questions then. Obviously, you mentioned about making money, and a big part of making money in this sport is about having that profile. So, just for your benefit, say your Instagram. Say where can people find you?
Well, that's it. My Instagram, Nico Michael, NICO But that's it. To get the big fights, you need the big followings. So
absolutely.
Things like this, I'm trying to get myself out there, just trying to put as many stories, posts as I can out there, win as many fights, get the right material, get the right logos created, and get the sponsor. I've got a few sponsors lined up ready to. They already messaged me wanting to sponsor me, but I'm waiting to actually turn pro to put that on the shirts because that's when I get a new kit.
Okay, so you don't get sponsored as an amateur?
No, you can.
Yeah.
Josh has got some. Tysell's got some.
Okay.
I mean, sponsors you can be for all sorts of things. For example, free food after a fight. But currently, I mean, sponsors would be great for me. But I work still, so currently, what I can manage what I do right now. Whereas when I go pro, I need to put more time. I'm gonna need more sponsors when I go pro.
Who are you sponsors at the moment?
I've got none at the moment, but I've got a few ready to come into. For example, Project U, Charlie G's barbershop.
Okay, love that.
He's interesting. He's been my boy from school.
That's it.
Another lad's got this next gen car insurance thing in the pipeline. Don't think I should be saying these in case anyone else tries to nick some.
Well, listen, you've shouted them out on the podcast, so they better sponsor you. We look forward to seeing it on the next fight kit.
And a free haircut.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to put you on the spot here, and worst case scenario, we can edit this out. But let's say you're fighting Rochelle, yeah? I want you to call him out right now on the podcast. Let's test out this boxing vibe.
Nah.
Hey, you're a pussy,
I don't know what to say, bro, in case he bangs me, man. I'm not even ready for it.
I love that.
Be a pussy on my pod.
On your mic, you said that, you know.
Get to heavyweight.
Right.
Get to heavyweight.
pussy.
What does boxing bring to your day-to-day life? Like, does it, do you notice that your confidence is bigger, your coordination, do you know like your nutrition is on point?
Well, I've always been good. I'm strict. I'm determined. So when it comes to dieting, I know what I need to eat. I know how many calories I got to take in. So it brings a lot of stress because I can't do the things I want to do. I can't just go out for a nice meal with people.
Yep.
Especially when I'm coming up to a fight. I can't just open up the cupboard and eat. I'll come home and parents may have a Chinese on the table and even a chip I won't even touch because one will lead to 2, will lead to 3, will lead to 4. So it's things like that. It does bring a lot of stress. Like it's constant on your mind. You walk past the mirror, you do a quick shadow box. You look at your walls, you see people. You go on videos, you look at your history. It's all my life is boxing.
Yeah.
So especially with my girlfriend, she loves it and hates it at the same time. It's bittersweet.
How do you manage that? Like, and what are her thoughts around you boxing?
To start with, I don't think she knew how serious I was with boxing until I went on my birthday. She was going to go for a meal later. I went, look, I'm going boxing.
Yeah.
I'm going for a meal out. We had a little tit for tat. And I said, listen, if you can't deal with this, we've got to sort this out. And that's when she realised it was serious.
So it's that sacrifice you really got to make,
It's
innit?
a sacrifice. I love my girlfriend. I love my sport. But this is a dream I've got to chase, and I'm going to chase it. And she's there by my side with me. So
Man, that's sick, man. That's a good mentality to have.
that's it.
Yeah, love that. Right, well,
There was more I had on that question. I forgot what you started off with.
that's all right. I'll jump back into it 1 second. So the question was, what does boxing bring to your day-to-day life? So confidence, coordination,
What was
nutrition.
I going to say? I had a few more things to say.
Do you go in a room and do you just feel confident? Because worst case scenario,
That's what I
you
was
could
gonna
scrap
say.
like worst
Yeah,
case.
that's it. I was at it was my boy's birthday. We went out in London. This must have been 6 weeks ago. Again, I had a fight in 2 weeks, so I was just out drinking water. So I can do that. I can go out now. I can have a good time just by having water and just having a good time with them. But one of my other boys, he was a fighter as well. We were saying like, people said they barge past us because we're not the biggest of people. I think you don't know me.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I'm not gonna hype up to you, but I think you can't judge a book by its cover, because I could walk past and nudge someone and think you just look like a little gimp. He'd probably take not my head off, but someone else's head off. Like,
Yeah.
You can't. So I don't know how people see me, because as you said earlier, I can chat. I'm a nice person. I'm fun. I'm happy, but I can switch on. So in terms of that aspect, it's like people need to be careful who they fuck with, really.
Thoughts, Rachel?
That sounded mean, though.
Yeah, it's scary, bro.
Yeah,
I'm not
It's
gonna lie.
true, because people say it. They walk past you, and I think you're just a dickhead. Like, it's happened. I'm not gonna come and say fight me, am I? Like,
Yeah.
Lose your license.
At the end of the day, you got bigger things to worry about now.
Yeah.
You got a long-term career to consider, but it's that ability to be able to walk in a room must be very interesting.
Did you walk in here and think, oh yeah, I'll come back
Yeah.
and rash off?
He's already.
Nah, I didn't think I don't know what I'm gonna say.
Listen, we have to get the dog, man.
I love your dog.
You know what?
man.
Sometimes,
It's good dog.
sometimes I think I'm a fighter. Yeah, I feel like I take off people's heads, yeah, whatever. But not on a boxing level.
For 30 seconds.
30 seconds, baby. A good 30 seconds.
That's a long time, though.
It's be a good 30 seconds. Do you know, over COVID, I picked up a boxing bag.
Yeah.
From some guy was selling on Gumtree, picked it up, yeah. And I looked at him, I was like, nah, you know what, I'll take your head off, you know. Yeah. And then guess
Get back
what?
for a minute.
Guess
your
what?
arms.
He started banging the boxing bag, like knees, everything, man. You can't judge a book.
No,
Have you
you
looked in the
can't.
back
You
of the
can't. You can't.
He was telling me he was like champion from back home. I don't know if he was. I
But he
think it
didn't
was-
look it, did he?
No, but he was a small guy. I judged him, but he would take everyone's head off.
What was his ears like?
Now he had normal ears.
Right, you can't even tell
no,
these
it is.
days. You can't even tell.
Yeah, he didn't do UFC, man. That man just.
I remember
Them man
through
them man
COVID, I
is.
went to when it first started no lockdown. Obviously, all gyms went shut, and I thought
Yeah.
I need to do my runs, but I need to train. So
Punching up people on the street.
now
With belly up.
I went to a tyre place and just spoke to them and took 3 old car tyres. And there's a pub on the back of my house, and I spoke to them. So I drilled these 3 tyres and hung it up at a climbing frame and created my own circuit in the pub garden. So I had all sorts of stations. I had my ab station, my shadow box station, my run station, my bag station.
Where's
I was
that
just-
bag now? That tire bag? Where is it now?
I think it's still in my garden now, just on the floor.
Would you use it again? Because listen,
I'd
that might be a
happily
way,
use
you
it
know.
again. It worked. It was perfect. But the pub's been taken over now by different owners, so they've took down the climbing frame that I attached it to. But I can work with that.
Oh, that was sick. You know?
Yeah, I can see some social posts that we can do. Training on a tire bag. Yeah, I can see
I'll
it.
look the part.
Oh yeah,
we'll
I
get
saw
back to
it
it.
for you. I saw it for you.
Yeah, we'll sort them out.
That's another thing you said a second ago. Actually, you mentioned you seen someone fighting and you was going to do the bag or whatever. For me, I've always been a fighter. So from the age of 7, all I know is fighting. So for me, when you said that, I actually thought to myself for a second, if I didn't fight, I don't know how I'd see or how I'd feel.
So-
It's quite different.
So it's a big part of your just day to day, who you are.
Yeah. It's just it just seems to be it. So you don't wake up or go boxing, for example, or do any sort of fighting. So for your day to day, it's going to be so different in the way your brain
Yeah.
wants to be so different to mine. It's quite mad.
Well, you know what then? Actually, now you've said that, you've made me think of another question. So obviously, this is all you know, and God willing, you're gonna have an amazing pro career. But what happens after boxing for you? And I get it. You might not be able to answer this because I'm asking you to think about way too far ahead. But what happens after boxing? Are you going to stay in boxing? Is that always the plan?
I think I'll always have something to do with boxing. Something to do with, definitely. Either if it's coaching or
Yeah.
or if I have my own child, male or female, probably get them into some sports if they enjoy it. So I think it'll always be a part of my life, but yeah, I aim to be big and retire wealthy.
Love that. That's the plan.
I still got good. Well, boxing and computers is probably all I know. And I can solve Rubik's cubes and ride unicycles, but
there's skills there somewhere. I mean, look, get in, get rich, and get out. That's the plan.
pretty much. Well, yeah, it's pretty much it. Yeah.
Love that. Well, Nico, it's been great talking to you.
Awesome.
This has been Sofa Sensei's on the Akhi&Saltfish Digital Network. I've been Keiron.
I've been Rash.
And we've been joined by Nico. So thanks for your time, Nico. Don't forget to give him a follow on Instagram. It's at Nico Michael. And follow his journey. He's going to be turning pro very, very soon. And when's your next fight?
April 2nd.
April
Leicester
2nd.
For the East Midlands title.
East Midlands title in Leicester. Make sure you go check him out.
Where can people get tickets and all of
They're
that?
going to be on the door. I've got the venue on my phone. Just give me 1 second.
Yeah, take your time.
No worries. And while we're getting that, if you enjoyed what you heard today, feel free to check out the other podcasts that we've got on the network. We've got Before Our Friends Die. We talk to people all around the world about what they're good at and what we want to know about them. So check that out. It's very interesting. And we've also got Cool, Fine, Done, Wicked about the music world. But this has been Sofa Sensei's. And Nico, where can they find you and where can they get the tickets for your next fight?
You can find my Instagram or Snapchat, but mainly Instagram is what I'm active on. That's Nico Michael. April 2nd, it's going to be at the Freeman's Common in Leicester near the football ground. And the tickets will be about £15, but it's going to be a big turnout. There's loads of people coming down from Northampton. It's going to look like my home show.
Love that.
Can't
Love
wait.
that.
Me fight for the belt. You got Tysell defending his belt, so it's going to be a big night for Northampton.
NN show for sure. This is going to be out very, very soon. So thanks for your time. Really appreciate it, Nico. Take care.
Love, man.
Chat to you
Take
next
it easy,
time.
man. Love.
So Rachel, there it is. We just had the chat with Nico. How did you find it?
Yeah, man, it was good, you know.
I think, you know what, yeah? Like we mentioned in the chat, a big part of being a boxer and getting people to buy into you is your personality. And Nico's a great talker.
100%. Yeah, 100%.
And one thing we wanted to mention as well, after we pressed stop recording,
Oh, we had so many good
we had
so
an
much
amazing
content.
conversation with Nico.
Sometimes you have the best convos when it's not recorded.
For sure. I know we're going to get into that in another episode, but I think we definitely want to invite Nico back for a part 2.
After his win, 100%. Come on.
April 2nd, he's going to be fighting. A lot of people from Team Shoebox want to jump on as well, so we're going to get them involved, and you're going to hear a lot more from Team Shoebox on the Akhi&Saltfish Digital Network podcast, Sofa Sensei. So be sure to stay tuned in. Obviously, if you want to keep in touch with us, we are Akhi&Saltfish on all social media, as well as Akhi&Saltfish@gmail.com. So please do get in touch, ask us questions, ask to join in. We'll happily invite you to the location and get you recorded. So this is what it's about. Sofa Sensei's talking about the fight world. We hope you enjoy it as much as we do. And until next time, take care.
Peace, love.